Joining me now, Gigi McKelvey, host of the podcast Pretty Lies and Alibis, along with former federal prosecutor Neama Rahmani. Glad to have you both here. Gigi, I'll begin with you because according to the account that Kouri herself gave investigators, around 9 p.m., she brings cocktails to her husband's bedroom before going to sleep in her son's room because he had a night terror. Then around 6 hours later, she finds her husband dead when she returns to their bedroom. Prosecutors say she poisoned him. What does the defense want the jury to believe really happened?
I really think their big tactic is going to be to try and dirty up Kouri Richins and say that he had a drug problem. They have alluded to that in hearings and even today in opening statements when mentioning that he had some THC, looked like it came from a dispensary, but he had some that were in plastic bags and we don't know where. I think that's really where they're going to go with this. Don't know how it's going to fall with the jury, but I mean, you have to consider, and I hope the prosecution really hammers in on, he was running a successful business. Was he ever high at work? Bring in some character witnesses to show this. But yeah, I mean, that's really all they have to work with is, like she said in openings, they can't say how that fentanyl got in Eric's system. And I think that's what they're going to run with the whole trial.
And of course, to point out, there are two charges at least. There's attempted murder, aggravated murder, and also aggravated murder because they claim that she tried to poison him on Valentine's Day as well. Neama, let me go with you on this because at one point, Eric's sister testified that on the morning of his death, and by the way, her testimony was riveting and it was emotional and it was really, really difficult to watch at times. But she testified that on the morning of his death, Kouri told her she planned to sell the family home. Listen to how she described hearing that and the timing of it.
Did anything about that strike you as odd?
Yes, I honestly could not function. I couldn't even figure out what was for dinner that night. I had just lost one of the most important people in my whole entire life. And she was planning on selling the house that he had just been wheeled out of, closing on a multi-million-dollar mansion. I could not wrap my head around it.
Keep in mind, Kouri was a real estate flipper, so they're talking about a deal that she was going to keep going forward with and try to flip that house as well. How will that sit with the jury?
Laura, I thought it was a fantastic way for the prosecution to start. And the conventional wisdom is you want to start strong and end strong. And typically in these murder cases, you have to start with the law enforcement witnesses or the family members. And I think it was the right decision, especially Katie's testimony. She described a Kouri Richins that really did not show remorse. She's talking about closing a deal literally that same day and then selling the family home the following day. And then you add the infidelity, the financial motive, and we're going to get into all the cell phone data. I really like how the prosecution started here, and I don't think Kouri is going to come across as likable at all, and it's only day one.
Let's talk about that, Gigi, that cell phone data, because the prosecution said that after that she searched things like this on her phone. Can deleted text messages be retrieved from an iPhone? Can cops force you to do a lie detector test? Luxury prisons for the rich in America. I mean, one of the things the prosecution said in opening statements, Gigi, was that I want you to look at what happened in the days leading up to what they say was the murder of Eric, but also what she did afterwards. That umbrella, consciousness of guilt.
Yeah, I mean, they found out that she had deleted. I mean, in the end, as far as we know, it was hundreds of text messages in a certain time frame about when she started contacting her housekeeper, who ended up being the middleman who actually got Kouri the fentanyl allegedly from a dealer. And so you have all that. The phone thing is going to be huge in this case. And it blows my mind that in one of the texts they read today, that Kouri is telling her boyfriend, I just want to lay on the couch and watch murder documentaries with you. Clearly, she didn't watch any where everyone says your phone is going to be seized and your internet history, whether it's deleted or not, is going to be found out. There's a lot of other searches that they didn't mention today that I'm sure we're going to get to, and they're all just as damning.
This was day one in this trial, and we already saw a glimpse, Neama, of the defense's strategy where they're going to say that the family just jumped to conclusions. They just wanted someone to blame, and they pinned it on the wife. Listen.
Nobody knew yet how he died. The sisters were telling the police Kouri probably did this. Kouri probably did this. Day one, the Richins family hired a private investigator. And you're gonna see how much they paid that private investigator. And it's almost $100,000. And they paid that investigator to spend every waking minute digging up as much dirt as he possibly could on Kouri Richins to try to implicate her in Eric's death.
Is that an effective strategy for you, Neama?
No, but it's defense lawyering 101. Dirty up the victim, say he's a pill popper, blame the family, and attack law enforcement. That's exactly what the defense is doing here. I don't think it'll work.
We will see. Gigi, Neama, thank you both so much.